So we finally made it to the end of 2017, and that means it's time for me to give my picks for the 10 best movies of the year. And this is my list. It is totally subjective, and it's based off of what entertained me the most, what made me laugh the most, what is the most interesting, unique films that came out this year, the movies that stirred my emotions, that I saw excellent in them in all sorts of different ways that are totally subjective to me. I'm not trying to impress you with my sophisticated taste in movies. I'm not giving the list of movies I think are going to be nominated for Best Picture. These are the movies that I loved the most. And with that in mind, tell me down below in the comment section, which movies did you love the most that you thought were the best based off your totally subjective criteria? Let's have a nice lively discussion down in the comment section. This uplifting, positive, a celebration of the fact that we're all just movie lovers, and that's why we're watching videos like this one. Also, stick around to the end of this video. I'm going to share a bunch of other people's picks for what they thought were some of the best movies of the year. I did that using the Stardust app, and also stick around to the very end so you can learn how you can appear in a future video using the Stardust app. With that in mind, let's go ahead and get started with my honorable mentions. In alphabetical order, The Big Sick, the best romantic comedy of the year. Blade Runner 2049, the best looking movie of the year. John Wick Chapter 2, the best straight up action movie of the year. Spider-Man Homecoming, the best Spider-Man movie of the year. And Wheelman, the best Netflix original film of the year. Coming in at number 10 is Anna and the Apocalypse. This was absolutely the best Christmas High School Musical zombie apocalypse film that I have ever seen. Now, of course, it's the only movie of that genre I've ever seen, but it absolutely works on every single one of those levels. I saw this at Fantastic Fest back in September, and it was actually the world premiere of this movie, and I don't believe it's been wide released anywhere as of yet, so you almost certainly haven't seen it, and it really is as insane and as fun as it sounds, and it works on each of the levels. It is a good, entertaining zombie movie. The music in it is great, and as a high school movie, it's a solid coming-of-age story, so all in all, a movie that just works on all the different levels, that's incredibly entertaining while being wildly unique. Coming in at number 9 is Wind River. Taylor Sheridan, the writer of Sicario, as well as To Hell or High Water, delivers the best murder mystery of the year. Here we've got Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen investigating a murder on an Indian reservation, and the whole thing, it's character driven with great performances throughout, and it just has a great ambiance and mood throughout it that's very unsettling and very satisfying at the same time, and this was just a very solid dramatic film that I had a great time with. At number 8 is Thor Ragnarok. For me, this is probably just the most thoroughly entertaining film of the year. Whether you're talking about that sense of humor that they just crammed into this movie, the vibrant color scheme, the characters that just pop, that are cast by these amazing actors, whether you're talking about the music, everything about this movie just put a gigantic grin on my face from beginning to end, and here we are 2 months later, still smiling when I talk about this movie. I just love it. I had an absolute blast with this film. Coming in at number 7 is The Glass Castle. This is probably the most personal inclusion on this list, as I resonated heavily with the lead character and her upbringing, as it mirrored several things in my own upbringing. I actually wrote an article for Relevant Magazine about the film and what it meant to me and how it helped me understand my own childhood just a little bit more. You can read it at the link down below in the description. Now, while this movie really worked for me, a bunch of people I know hated this movie. I know some people that have it as their worst movie of the year, and I think it's a fundamental different understanding of what the movie was doing or trying to do and how the audience member took it. I took it one way, and I know a lot of people that took it the exact opposite direction. But for me, it may be the best presentation of the confusion, nostalgia, and cognitive dissonance that many people who grew up in dysfunctional homes struggle with. Coming in at number 6 is Wonder Woman. Now, I was one of the people that did not think it was a good idea to make a Wonder Woman movie because of her costume, because of the lasso, because of the invisible jet. And boy, was I wrong. This movie was just so much fun. It was funny because of the time period. It had a unique vibe to it, but it was a movie that also just had ideas that it was exploring about war, peace, conflict, and how it's all a lot more complex than we want to think it is. And then all along the way, there's a great little romance with our two leads that have amazing chemistry. All in all, this was a great blockbuster and a great comic book movie. At number 5 is Logan. Now, this is a cool and ballsy comic book movie. And it's the sort of movie you can only do when you've had a franchise like this, where you've had Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart playing these roles for so long, where there's so much backstory, chemistry, relationship that's established going into the film, where you can take this risk and make a movie about death that's hard R, and it works on so many different levels. The performances are amazing, there's some amazing action, and it's a great story that explores ideas of life, legacy, and of course, death. This is a great movie, and this was the best comic book movie of the year, in a year that had a whole bunch of great comic book movies. In fourth place is Brawl in Cell Block 99. Now, this is a movie that I knew nothing about going into it. I hadn't seen the director's previous film, Bone Tomahawk, before watching it. I hadn't even seen a trailer for this movie. I just went into it knowing this guy makes brutal, violent movies, and this movie was brutal, violent, and amazing. In certain senses, it's a fairly straightforward sort of plot that's a little bit familiar, but the execution is both so earnest and weird and realistic and unrealistic all at once that just makes for a very unique cinematic experience. Also, we get Vince Vaughn in a very different type of role that once you see him in this movie, you just wonder, why hasn't Hollywood been using Vince Vaughn like this for the last 20 years? He's a huge guy and he's great at this near sociopathic character that's also charismatic and heartfelt in such a weird mix that makes for an amazing movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. And every time I think about it, I get a big grin on my face, even though it's kind of a dark, twisted movie. If you haven't seen it, go check this one out if you can handle really violent movies. In third place is Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan's take on a World War II film is very much a traditional World War II film while being very much a traditional Christopher Nolan film. In that, we got three different storylines that converge together. It's edited and the story's told in such a way that gives a sense of urgency throughout the entire film, as well as giving some very cool reveals as you start getting into the third act. This was a movie that definitely stirred my emotions towards the end and provided a very satisfying emotional conclusion, so it makes it into my top three. Coming in second place is War for the Planet of the Apes. I have absolutely loved this rebooted reimagining of the Planet of the Apes films for one simple reason, is that they've made blockbuster films that have true dramatic tension, where the stakes and conflict isn't because there's just some evil mustache twirling villain, it's because of misunderstandings, mistakes that are happened that lead to kind of a series of events unfolding where you can understand both sides and what they're doing, and they have pure motives in what they're trying to do, while the other side also has pure motives. And this makes for great conflict, great drama, heart-wrenching moments, and excellent cinema. War for the Planet of the Apes is no different in that Woody Harrelson's evil villain in this one, you understand completely why he's doing what he's doing, how he's become this person, and that he believes the world is at stake. And so he has turned into this sociopath of sorts. And likewise, you understand Caesar's quest to get revenge against him and why he's driven to make bad decisions because of his rage. All in all, this is another excellent addition to this trilogy, a great conclusion to the trilogy, and a movie that just stirred my emotions. And I believe this film has my favorite score of the entire year. There is some stellar, phenomenal music in this film. Because this movie is so strong, this new Planet of the Apes trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. But my favorite movie of 2017 was The Disaster Artist. Somehow James Franco managed to take the story of the worst movie ever made and make one of the best movies of 2017. And the simple reason for that is he nailed the tone. And while we're laughing throughout the entire movie at Tommy Wiseau's hijinks, we're not laughing at him. It's a celebration of him. It's a film that's all about friendship and the weird quirks that go along with that. And it's an inspiring story about this movie that's not good on any level, but it's a movie that matters. It's a movie that has brought so much joy to so many lives, not for its intended purposes, which makes it an interesting story in and of itself. And this weird guy made this weird movie that matters. And that's an inspiring story that we can celebrate it with him. And that makes this movie just warm your heart while bringing a smile to your face. And the fact that this movie exists and might get some Oscar buzz is one of those things I love about the year 2017. And for all those reasons, I love this movie. It is my favorite movie of the year. How about you guys? What is your favorite movie of the year? Tell me down below in the comment section. And while you're writing your picks for the favorite movies of the year, check out these other people's picks for favorite movie of the year.
War for the Planet of the Apes is easily one of my favorite movies of this year. This movie is just absolutely riveting.
I absolutely love this movie. This is my favorite movie of the year.
A film about a satanic cult that is quirky, fun, and highly entertaining. I thought they were highly entertaining, and this is definitely one of my favorite films of the year.
Blade Runner 2049 made the impossible possible. Not only is this a great movie by itself, you are doing a disservice if you don't see this.
So Logan will end up being my favorite film of this year.
My favorite movie of the year 2017, it is Logan.
In my opinion, Logan is one of the best movies of the year.
Get Out, in my opinion, was the best horror movie of 2017.
I rewatched Get Out for like the third time already. It's probably my favourite film of the year. I'm not sure if I like it better than Baby Driver, but it's definitely up there.
So there you have it. There's you guys' picks for the best movies of 2017. Tomorrow, I'm going to put out my video on the biggest surprises of 2017, the movies I didn't know I was going to love that I ended up loving. And then 2 days from now, I'm going to put out my list of the worst movies of 2017. If you want to appear in either one of those videos at the end with your picks for the biggest surprises or the worst movies of the year, it's very simple. All you have to do is download the Stardust app for your smartphone at that link down below in the description. It's totally free, no ads. Once you download it, follow me on the app. And then the app, it's just designed, it's a simple app designed to make it so you can record 30-second reviews for TV shows or movies. So record your reviews, reactions in it. You don't need any fancy equipment, just your smartphone. And then tag me in the video or in the comments on it, because you've already followed me. Just tag me in there, SeanChandler, and then I will see your pretty face, and then I will include you in one of my future lists if you get it out there in time. So, nice and simple. Download the app free at the link down below. Follow me, record your reactions, tag me in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos, end of year, best of, worst of list type things like the one you're watching right now. But the key thing is I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. So join me in the comment section, download Stardust and post your reactions on there and tag me so I can see your pretty face. And as always, thank you for watching.